feeling when it's time to move, moving before it's ripe will make you work too hard. Ignoring little urges and suggestions that you hear will make you work too hard. And sometimes the little urges and suggestions don't make any sense. Sometimes they don't seem to even relate to what you're trying to do. You might get the urge, go to this event, go to this party. Well, you might be thinking, no, I've got work to do. I'm supposed to be writing my book tonight. But there's a publisher there. You know, that's just an example. So follow your urges. Follow what calls to you and what feels good. And the minute you feel yourself working too hard, there's another way. Now, we'll talk probably a little bit later today about the things that stop us from letting in easier ways to do things. It's just old habits and beliefs, that's all. That's all. It's just shrunken pipes, old habits, beliefs, cultural conditioning that we didn't even know was there. We pick up so many things from cultural conditioning that we don't even question. This week I've been seeing a whole lot of those. Things that are so assumed that nobody bothers to question them. Everybody agrees it's true. Nobody bothers to question them. Yeah. And you are going to start seeing them very naturally. And then you'll have the opportunity to say, okay, all right, I'm giving this one over to the divine, and I'm looking for an easier way. So, does that help about the, you want it all yesterday? Yeah. That can go, thank goodness, most of the time, 90% of the time, that is now gone for me. Now, I can get into that addictive, sit in front of the computer and work and stuff too much, but then I start feeling it. It's like, I don't feel so good, and I'm trying to do too many things in one day, and you know, I'm going to die with an undone to-do list this long, and so why am I trying to get it all done today? It's never going to happen, and then I'll just back off and take a little time off, and then it's like, okay. Do what can be done today, and the rest will get done. Sometimes the big to-do list, it's funny, you look at it later and you go, that didn't ever need to be done, that didn't, and that didn't, because something better was coming in. Made those things unnecessary. Those didn't even need to be done. Yeah, your experience is going to be so unique. I'm just blown away at the uniquenesses of the experiences. And they go from super subtle to, whoa, you know, just fun to hear about, that's for sure. So don't compare your experience to anybody else's. If yours is sweet and subtle and heart-opening and you know, relationships in your life just naturally heal, and things just seem so natural about all of it, great. Fabulous. That's what it's all for, to have things go smoother and more peacefully and more lovingly in your life. Now, the only danger, I'd say, of the solar experiences is that it's so natural that you almost don't even notice it. So, for those cases, I tell people, rave about it, play it up, talk it up to yourself, mark it, note it, celebrate it. I've heard a lot of people lately say, yeah, it was so natural that until we talked, I wasn't even thinking it was related. I was just thinking, wow, things sure have taken an upturn, and it's just so smooth. So celebrate it, if that's the kind of experience you have, so that it doesn't just go unnoticed. Yeah. No wonder we feel like crap. We're down there.
Okay.
I love it.
So I read this and I went, oh yeah, depression, despair, apathy. Wow.
Yeah. Hey, there's where I am.
Yeah.
Oh, that is fabulous. And you say it better than I could. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's
We have
perfect.
some really good stories in this last year that we've been traveling this.
I love it. Yeah, and I love it that now you're calling it large self, expanded self, and smaller self, contracted self, because good, bad is it's a judgment, it's a human kind of thing. Your divine self doesn't say, oh, you're bad because you're down there in grief. It just says, hey, come on back up. It feels better up here. And so there's not any judgment like that it's bad to be down here and good to be up here. It's just totally human. So how much more freeing is that to just say, well, my large self hasn't gone anywhere. I did. Mm-hmm. I went down there. And okay, this is one of those just accepted cultural things, that grief is good for you. And that if you stay in it long enough, you'll thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and that if you stay in it long enough that you'll process it all out. Well, you could inadvertently just keep creating more of it. And that's the fallacy in the whole belief that there are some bad things in there, and that if you emote enough, you'll cleanse them out. Well, just as often as not, you're creating more of them. And if you go by that belief that there's a bunch of stuff in there that you've got to cleanse out, then your mind keeps creating more of it for you to cleanse out. So this whole path gives you just a completely different perspective. That is so beautiful.
But it was so profound, and
yes.
It took me weeks for it to sink in.
To catch up.
Because I wanted somebody to fix me. I wanted somebody to
stop
me from crying, to stop me from being sad, to fix it.
People go to healers and therapists a lot of times to say, make this stuff go away.
Make me better.
Well,
yeah.
It's a signal. We don't want it to go away. We want it, like he said, embrace it and let it rise up the scale.
And I was just
you don't want to turn the smoke alarm off. You want to put out the fire. Mm-hmm. You want to. Every emotion on here is divine energy going at a different speed. These are slower. These are higher, finer, faster. They're all divine energy. They're all there to be felt. They're all valuable information. I never want any of them to go away. I've often said lately that I can feel better in exhaustion and sadness or frustration today than I used to feel on one of my happiest days, because it's just all okay. It's all okay. It's okay to be involved. What a freedom.